All right, so we're going to look at some more of these on the next page. So let's go ahead and we're going to do a few more. So on this next page, okay, we're going to go through and we're going to do 16, 17, 18, and 20. So for number 16, okay, what term is it that I need to move? 4x. Now, when I go to move the 4x, how do I do that? Now, when I subtract it on both sides, is there like terms on one side is there like terms over here that I need to subtract it from? What's the like term? So we're going to get x squared. What is negative 10x minus 4x? Negative 14x plus 48 equals 0. So if there is like terms, combine them, okay, when we move stuff around. Now, this is a trinomial again. Can I use the shortcut?
Yeah.
Yes, because our a is 1. So we have to figure out what multiplies to give us 48, but what adds to give us negative 14. What is that going to be?
7 and 6.
Mm-mm. That would be 49.
Oh, okay.
This is 48.
6
and 8. Yep. Positive or negative 6 and 8?
Negative.
Negative 6, negative 8. Because we have to multiply to get a positive, but then add to get a negative. So they both need to be negative. Now we can write it in factored form, which would be x minus 6 times x minus 8 equals 0. Then what do I do with each of my factors? Set them equal to 0 and solve. How do I solve x minus 6 equals 0? So that gives you x equals. Okay, then we're going to do the same thing for x minus 8 equals 0. What do I do? And x equals. So if we write our answer in set notation, we will get 6, 8. All right. I also want us to look at number 17. So 17 has two x squared terms. Okay. It makes our lives easier if we can keep our x squared terms positive. Okay. So pretty much always what we're going to do is we're going to move everything to the left side. So in order to move x squared to the left side, what do I need to do?
Add 1.
It's already positive x squared. We got to subtract x squared on both sides. Okay. What else do we need to move?
The 8x.
8x. You can do this in one step or you can do it in two. That's a personal preference. However, makes the most sense to you, do that. If you need to move it in two separate steps, move it in two separate steps. Okay, so once we get this, we have, what is 11x squared minus x squared? 10x squared. Then does negative 8x have any like terms? No, so we just bring it down. Equals 0. Now, is that a binomial or a trinomial? Binomial. Does it have a greatest common factor? What is the greatest common factor? 2x. So if we take out a 2x, what does that leave us with? 5x minus 4. It's still equal to 0. Now we're going to take each piece and set it equal to 0. So we're going to do 2x equals 0. What do I do to solve that? So we get x equals 0. Okay, then we're going to do 5x minus 4 equals 0. How do I solve that? Plus 4. After I add 4, what do I need to do? By? Not 5x, but just 5. So x equals 0 and 4/5. Woo. All right. Now we're going to look at number 18. What term do I need to move for number 18?
9.
How do I need to move the 9?
Subtract.
We're going to subtract the 9 on both sides. So we get 16x squared minus 9 equals 0. Is that a binomial or a trinomial?
Binomial.
Does it have a GCF?
No.
No. If it doesn't have a GCF, what do we need to check it for?
The plus minus?
Which is called difference of squares. Yep.
Yeah.
Is that a difference of squares? Yes. What squares to give us 16x squared? 4x. What squares to give us 9?
Third.
And we need,
Plus negative.
there we go, equals 0. And I want y'all to solve it from here. So I want y'all to find the solutions for these. All right. What did y'all get for the answer for those? X equals negative 3/4, comma, positive 3/4. All right, then we're going to do question 20. What term do I need to move for question 20? The 10x. How do I move it? So we're going to have 8x squared minus 10x plus 3 equals 0. Okay? Can I use the shortcut for this trinomial?
No.
So we have to figure out what multiplies to give us a times c. What is a times c? 24. And what adds to give us negative 10? What multiplies to give us 24 but adds to give us negative 10? Negative 6, negative 4. And I cannot use the shortcut. So what term do I need to rewrite with our two new factors? So we're going to do 8x squared minus 6x minus 4x plus 3 equals 0. Then we're going to group. If we group the first two terms, what is their greatest common factor? If we take out a 2x, what does that leave us with? Now, if we look at the second two, what is their greatest common factor? Negative 1. We know that because it starts with a negative, so we got to take out at least a negative, and then the only GCF is a 1. So negative 4x divided by negative 1 is going to leave us with, and then 3 divided by negative 1 gives us negative 3. So when we have this here, what part is the same? So we have 4x minus 3 times 2x minus 1 equals 0. So I want y'all to solve from there. All right. What did y'all get for y'all's answers?
Negative 1.
It is 3/4, and what's the other one? 1/2. Okay. Both of them will get positive 1/2 and positive 3/4. All right. So we are going to go ahead and we are going to do some delta math practice. Okay. So I want us to get that out. Now, one thing about the delta math, when you go to type in your answer, you just type in the number, comma, and it'll give you a whole separate blank for the second number. Okay? Yes. And I think there's 10 questions in total.